Well, hello. Here we are for our Q&A, number 121.
Yeah, I know you're right, because I read your last one and it was 120.
Hey, that sounds good. Okay, we'll go ahead and start with...
Does that mean 121 weeks?
Uh-huh, yep.
Wow.
We do one a week. Hard to believe, huh? Okay. Christina T. Mama O, what is the date and where is CVX Live for YouTubers? Okay, so at CVX Live, it's going to be in Provo, and it's September 21st through the 22nd at the Provo, Utah Valley Convention Center.
Why don't you tell them what it is?
Yeah,
oh,
CVX Live is, what does it stand for? Creators, Video, I don't know, extreme. And it's just where YouTubers all gather, and if you want to meet us.
She means viral YouTubers, not just YouTubers in general.
Yeah, the ones that
it's only the
people,
the very best.
Yeah, and we'll be there. We'll be there with Davey and April. So if you want to come see us, we'll come on down. That'll be on September 21st, 22nd. This is the year 2018 down at the Provo Valley Center.
If they live in Utah, and if they're...
Yes, I know.
Some of the people that watch you live in other countries.
Because Christina was wondering if we do meetups, and we will meet you at CVX. I don't know how else to do it. Yeah. So, but that would be fun to meet you there. So, and then this is Peachums. I love watching your videos. I'll have to bring my family to. We're going to sing at the Weber Fair. She was wondering if we sing at any of the fairs. And the Weber Fair, we're going to be there. She says Cameron would be so happy to see us. That would be fun to see Cameron.
Who's Cameron?
Her son.
Oh.
And he watches our videos. And we'll be at the Weber Fair August 11th. Oh, August 11th from 2 to 3.
And again mention that this is Utah people. You know?
Yeah, Utah people, yeah. This is for... the Weber County Fair.
Yeah, the county fair.
Mm-hmm. That'll be fun. And Papa always usually comes. We get we get tickets to go down there, and that's when we'll be there. So if you want to come see us,
and that's
there, that would be
situated
fun.
More or less north of Salt Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to read this one?
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Frank Milena. Sweet story about how your daughter met her husband.
Yeah. They tore down the place where Doug and Rochelle met, and we went out to Strawberry Days, and they're building a new fireman station there. So she was just saying that sweet how they met.
Okay, I'll just finish reading it.
Okay.
Fun day with your sister. The homes in Utah have big backyards. Your sister has a nice yard. Which sister's that?
Jane.
Oh. How's your pipes? Still a smell? Hope Brad's doing great.
Yeah. Yeah, so the yards are big in Utah. We live on 1/4 of an acre. I think Jane's got about 1/4 of an acre.
I thought we had a third.
1/4. Yeah, and Jane's been there my sister's been there about 42 years, so you have time to fix it up. We've been here about 43 years. And
we have
it takes
time to fix it up and let it wear out again.
And let's see. Yes, the pipes, we found out there is water under the house, and we just need to get the water pumped out.
And it came from pluggage of a drain where it just leaked down there. And one of my sons is coming over this week, and we're just gonna wet vacuum it, the little puddles. There's plastic totally under, and I didn't put it there, the plastic, but
no, I guess so.
So there's just little puddles. It's not like it's underwater or something. Yeah,
and that's nice of you to be concerned about that. And it's a big job, but it's got to be done. And it does still have an odor about it. But I think once we get that done, that'll get cleaned up.
See, I don't smell anything at all.
He never smells it.
Well, about 8 years ago, I was skating down a canyon, and I broke my nose in 2 places.
Oh, so that's why.
And so I think it messed up my so
I
can't
forgot
smell
about
it.
that. Yeah, watch the video on Saturday and you'll see when Davey actually goes under there. He actually braves it. And my brother Brad is doing really good. He's taking 6 weeks off work and give his foot time to heal. And he's hoping that they did find that septic arthritis and got that all drained and everything, and he's hoping that that's what was causing the trouble. As they got that fixed and discovered, and he's doing really well. So that's really nice of you to ask, to be concerned about that. Okay. The printer's didn't print that name up very well.
Well, it just says Ads Joe.
Ads Joe.
Said, do any of them call you Grammy?
I don't know. What do they call me?
Grandma. They just call you Grandma.
Yeah. They don't say Grammy unless...
I think that's probably local to the family. Like we have Claudia's kids, they call her Grandma Oma.
Oma and Opa.
Because she's from Germany.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on what you grow up with.
Naomi, Amanda's kids, they call their great-grandma Grammy.
Oh,
on
they?
The other side, yeah.
Oh.
Gladys, they call her Grammy. And their grandma they call Nana. But our grandkids just say Grandma. But that's a good question to, because there's a lot of different names for Grandma. But they just say Grandma. Okay, do you want to read this one?
Yeah, Frank Janvari. When you get a chance, please add all your sewing videos to the playlist. Thank you.
Please, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, wants all my she wants all my videos on a playlist, sewing videos, so that you can see them easier, and that's a really good suggestion. Looking at all your videos, looks like you're out in the Midwest, or maybe Oklahoma part of the country.
Not in the Midwest. We're out in the West.
Yeah.
So we're Utah is surrounded by Colorado, Nevada. What's the other ones? Idaho and Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Utah is where we're at, and it's pretty much desert out here, and. But I don't know, what does Oklahoma look like? You rode right through there on your bike.
Yeah. No, all I know is it's...
there we go. Had to change cards. Cards quick. Okay. So we were talking about Papa O's bike ride from here to Quebec, Canada. And it took him, what, a month?
28 days.
28 days.
24 riding days. Because I rested on Sundays.
Rested on Sundays, and people were curious about what he was doing.
100 miles a day I averaged.
Oh my
Best
goodness.
day was 160 miles when I had a 30-mile-per-hour wind behind me in Wyoming. And the worst day was in Nebraska, where there was a rainstorm, about 6 inches of rain within hours. And I only made 13 miles when I couldn't even ride uphill because the wind and rain were in my face.
What state was that? Can you remember?
That's Nebraska.
Oh, Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska.
So you people in Nebraska, you probably know what he's talking about. And he saw a few tornadoes that almost touched down.
They were tornado watches.
But they didn't touch.
Well, you'd see the funnel in the sky and different places where it starts to drop. A tornado watch means in your county, if you see a touchdown of one, you immediately call it in so they can start warning people.
I can't imagine out riding your bike and seeing it starting to form.
And it was funny, I was in a park that night, and
I do.
No, and I literally chained my bicycle to a steel table, picnic table, because I was more worried about my bike than me. But I didn't want to just kind of go get all bent up.
Because we don't have tornadoes here in Utah, so that was kind of a scare.
But it was kind of...
They never touched.
It was a tornado area.
Yeah.
And it was weird because they have what they call flash lightning. It means almost steady light in the sky, not blinking, just almost steadily dim, kind of a little brighter, dim, brighter. And the wind wasn't just a wind now and then. It was a steady wind where the trees are bent over and they stay that way because the wind just stays.
And we don't have that in Utah. I mean, it comes and goes.
That's when it got kind of creepy for me. I thought.
Yeah. I mean, the wind blows, but the trees go back and forth. But there, they just stayed down. That must have been scary for you. And one time you went past Colorado or somewhere where the next day it snowed over.
Oh. No, I was in Wyoming,
Mm-hmm.
I was there in the month of June.
Oh, June?
Yeah. I graduated from the university in French.
How old were you?
I was 30.
30, okay.
Yeah. I graduated, and I was supposed to go to my graduation, but I wanted to leave on my bike trip. And I said, can I just pick that up? And they said, yeah, that'll be fine.
Now, is this when you got your master's degree in French?
That was my bachelor's degree. But anyway, the snow, it was the Laramie Mountains, not too far from Cheyenne, Wyoming, the Laramie Mountains, which you have to go over mountains to get to the next, to continually get out of the mountains. And it was kind of chilly and everything, and it took me a long ride up. I can't remember how it was probably 8,000 feet.
Pretty steep.
Yeah, but I remember a guy in a pickup truck offered to put my bike in the back, and I said, no,
I'm gonna ride the whole way.
The whole way.
And you did it.
And then the next day I'm in a cafe getting something to eat, and they said, oh, those Laramie Mountains, I can't remember the exact name of them, but it comes out of Laramie. They said, oh, that got snow, closed with snow.
If you'd waited one day, you wouldn't have made it through.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have made your bike trip.
I'm glad I missed the snow.
So you've seen the country. You've been across.
Is that country western song?
I've been everywhere.
No, I haven't been
So that was quite a trip for you. And he kept a journal and he put it in book form. And we've posted that below in not the comments.
Well, you just have to go to Amazon and then
Joe Orgel.
And then books and just type my name in, Joe Orgel.
And the bike. What do you got it called? Bike. Your bike trip.
Let's see.
Bike.
Well, you'll see it because
you'll see it.
It has a green cover and it has a silhouette of me on a bike.
Yeah, and this is 4 years before we met, so it was keeping you busy while I grew up.
That was more fun, more adventure than my extended trips in Europe where I was in Paris and everything.
Yeah,
it was way better than any of that.
Yeah, we'll have to get you to tell some more of your stories.
It's cool. It's cool to when you're in a place and you have to ask in every town you come to in Canada if there are bears and if they say there's.
Yeah.
And finally, one place said they kind of stay on the outside of town, and I was sleeping outside.
You were sleeping outside.
And
didn't you hear?
It was before the tourist season hit, so it was a campground in the middle of the woods they'd cut down.
I couldn't do that.
And
didn't you hear some branches breaking? And
well, no, to get back to that, I'd ask every town, and they said, oh, yeah, they come into town sometimes, but they usually stay by the garbage dumps. And I go,
so you don't sleep by the garbage dumps?
How far do we live from the garbage dumps? Oh, it's just on the outside of town. And so I went there and slept, and there were no floodlights or anything, because it was what do they call them? No hookups for trailers or anything. It's just a place to park if you want.
Amenities.
Yeah.
Amenities.
But anyway, it takes me a half hour to take my bike down, get my sleeping thing all ready to go, and I'm all tucked in. And I usually sleep in a city in a park because if it rains, I don't want to be out.
The pavilion.
But it was so beautiful and there was no rain in sight. But anyway, they told me, when they told me that story, during the night I heard, it was quiet because I was on the outside of town. No car sounds, city sounds or anything, just dead quiet. Dead quiet. And I heard a crunching, like dry twigs, like somebody walking. Almost, the sound is almost as if a grown person was walking, and the little branches were crunching. And I just said, it'll take me a half hour to get my bike up.
I'm just
fold
staying.
up, I'm just staying. So I put my head under my
Sleeping bag.
little mummy sleeping bag, and then I started praying.
Start praying.
I said,
You probably
Father in
sniffed
heaven,
around.
no, I didn't have any food on me. See,
That's good. What if you'd had a chocolate bar in your pocket?
No, they like meat, you know. They're in
beef jerky or something.
Yeah, like that.
And then didn't you read the next day, you read in the newspaper that a man had been attacked or something?
Well, no, I looked in, when I was in, I looked at like a National Enquirer, one of those type magazines, and it said something like, by the way, in this little town, in this area, a truck driver was out checking his He was out checking his load and everything, making sure it's tied down, and he got attacked by a bear. And it was close to where I was. And I went, oh.
That's scary. So it was quite an adventure for you.
But then I thought, if I'm on the highway and there's just forest on both sides, and maybe a car every 3-4 minutes. It's not traveled very much. I was what happens if I'm riding and there's no towns, maybe 30.
Yeah, what if you're riding in the
30, 40 miles between towns and otherwise just forest. This is in the Canadian National.
So you had already crossed the border into Canada?
Oh yeah, I'd already crossed the border into Canada. But anyway, I thought, what would I do if I get to a certain place and the bear just is in the middle of the highway?
Yeah, what would you do?
And he's watching me, and that worried me.
What would you do? Would you just turn around? Because they can run.
I thought, no, I've come actually, let's see, about going on 2,000 miles
by then.
I am not turning around. I'm going to find a way to get around that bear. I don't know how.
But it didn't
happen.
Yeah, he quit his job at Albertsons. He says, I'll be back in a month. Will you rehire me? And they go, yeah. So he just quit his job, went on his bike trip, and came back a month later.
And I had a few $100s with me, just so I could actually buy breakfast in the morning. And
you didn't want to have to kill your food.
I didn't want.
You had a little radio and a little map.
I didn't want to be the food.
So this had to have
I
been...
had, and those days they called it a transistor radio.
So this was 50 years ago.
Don't tell them how long they won't be interested. No, I was 30 years old.
Yeah, well, you want to know that you didn't have your smartphone, you didn't have cell phone, you didn't have GPS, you had your old map.
Yep.
You had your bike, and
I was 30 then, so.
An adventuresome.
And
you made it.
And I had been all over the mountains and all over Utah on my bike in the year preceding that.
To get ready for your bike trip and stuff. So that's quite the adventure.
Well, no, what happened, I rode from Salt Lake City to Bear Lake. Bear Lake is a border on Idaho and Utah.
And it takes 3 hours in a car to drive. And
it's 120 miles. And I rode that, left as soon as daylight came here, and it was my first long trip. And then I started saying, if I could do 100 in one day, I could literally go across the country if I don't get killed first or fall. Because
well, your half brother tried it. He got about 500 miles, and his bike he hit a grating.
His wheel went in the grating
and ruined the wheel. But he got 500 miles. But you made 2,555 miles.
I didn't have one flat. I had a couple of bulges, and I carried tires with me that were
tubes and
kind of folded up and twisted.
So you had your two-way radio. What do you call it?
No, it's not a two-way radio because I can't talk to him.
A wave.
We called it transistor radio.
So you had your radio and you'd listen to music, and you had your sleeping bag.
No, you can't listen to music because you're always between towns.
Oh.
But my only interest was when I'm in a town and sleeping, I want to know what the weather forecast.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That was the only thing I wanted.
And then
to know.
with your map, you would kind of say, okay, this is the next town I'm going to get to.
No, yeah, I had to have a map, and I had a little pack on my handlebars, big ones on each side of my wheels, and actually on the end of the seat, and then a little one where I kept my fruit in, where I keep feeding myself.
Oh, you would eat it as you go. Okay.
Well, so I would pack that with drinks and with fruit, those two things, so that, because the farthest I'd get the farthest I could go without replenishing my food supply is 50 miles.
That's pretty far.
But I try to do, you know, usually that's not the case, but occasionally out in a really deserty area, like actually in Wyoming, you could easily go 50 miles and have enough just remote farms and.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, it was quite the bike trip, and we got a little off the subject there, but we'll close with one more question. Livon, you say
Alverson.
Alverson, okay. This is a beautiful song, and the harmonies were awesome too. This is a song me and my sister Judy were singing in our in one of the videos. I'm trying to think of it. Can't think of it, but she was wondering if Judy is my sister. Yeah, I on my end of each of my videos, I play my songs or I play my sister's songs that we have written.
See, Roseanne, she has close to perfect pitch, but she can't read music.
Close.
She can't read music or write music.
Right on.
But sometimes on the radio there'll be a famous singer and she'll say, "Ooh, she kind of missed that note." What do you mean? She's a professional. But so she grew up with harmony.
Yeah. So I remember my grandpa Lee would harmonize, and he would try to tell us girls, "You ought to harmonize," and we said, "Okay." So we finally learned how to harmonize, and so we'll close with a couple of quotes.
Had to itch.
Okay, we'll close with a couple of quotes. Let's see. Let's see. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other.
That's interesting.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa.
We do belong to each other.
How about this? If you can't feed 100 people, then just feed one.
I like that. Just help one person. Because you think, oh, there's too many troubles, too many homeless, too many hungry people. So we'll just do one. That person
do you remember
will be
that?
grateful.
Or there were 14 minutes. Oh, do you remember that time that we visited a lady in apartments and her kitchen had not been cleaned in months and months?
Yeah, I remember.
Food was hardened everywhere, and we brought over our kids, and we spent, I don't know how long.
Just help one person.
How many hours cleaning up her kitchen.
Yeah.
And it was hard to get the food that had hardened on the surfaces.
It kind of reminds me of the little boy that was walking along the ocean, the shore of the ocean, and he was taking the starfish and throwing them back in the ocean, and a man comes along and says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, I'm throwing these starfish back in the ocean because they get out here and they die. They don't know how to get back." And the man says, why are you bothering it? Look how many starfish there are.
I think they wash up and the tide goes out.
And they can't get back in. Yeah. And he goes, what difference would it make? And the boy just bends over and picks up the starfish and tosses it, and he says, makes a difference to this one. I always get
choked up hearing that. No, really.
I know, it makes a difference to this one. So if you help that one, it makes a difference to them. So don't think that caring is overwhelming. Just care for that one.
If you can catch an unhappy person and just bring a smile to their face by smiling at them,
it matters to that one.
It matters to them.
Makes a difference to this one.
And they'll remember it the whole day.
They will. Well, thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we always love these Q&As. Keep the questions coming. And if you want to know more about Papa O's lives, his travels, he's been in like 24 different countries.
27.
27, wow.
Well, it
Learned
depends
his languages.
See, it depends if you call city-states a country or not, like the Vatican.
So
Monaco.
He's been around, but
anyway, there's cities that's a city, and they're also a country.
Yeah.
So I counted them.
Yeah, because he had to keep busy while he's waiting for me to grow up. And so if you want to know, ask those kind of questions and just keep them coming. Thanks so much, and we really appreciate the nice comments you make and everything, and make sure you ring that bell so you get notified. And we post every day, Q&As on Thursdays, DIYs on Fridays,
Actually, they don't have to ring. Well, they can ring the bell, but if it's somebody they've subscribed to, like if they've subscribed to you,
yeah, but
it will actually be lit up, meaning
only if they
on
ring
there.
the bell. They don't get notified if they don't ring the bell. They have to go look themselves.
Okay.
So, but if you ring the bell, that means that you'll get notified that
Of the people,
that I've posted something.
or
And I
other,
post every day at 2.
or other people they subscribe
Yeah.
to.
Well, thank you and good night. We're
Good night.
gonna go watch some TV.